Yes guys, what's up? I'm back with another video. So this is going to be an Instagram Q&A today. So posted on Instagram earlier just asking if anybody had any questions that were fitness related. Didn't really expect to get any, but we got a few. So I've already made this video once and the microphone was muted. So I'd made a 20-minute video and it didn't, it recorded, but it didn't record the audio. So here we are again, go through it again, why not? Practice makes perfect, right? So the first question is, how do I choose the right protein powder? So protein powder, you want to obviously be looking for the best for your money. So essentially one with high protein. So anywhere like between 20 and 30 grams is ideal per serving. Obviously as well, you don't really want to be going for these mass gainers. You want to be getting your calories from food, really. These mass gainers really do mess up your stomach a bit as well. So I'd definitely stick to like a whey isolate or probably like an impact whey, or if you have a bit of a sensitive stomach to dairy, then you can get like a vegan blend, something along them lines. But yeah, so whey isolate, impact whey, or a vegan blend, and companies that I use are My Protein and Bulk. They're the best ones really for a beginner to start out. Got a variety of flavors and stuff. So yeah. Question 2, once I'm in shape, how do I maintain / keep it realistically? So realistically speaking, once you've got to where you want to be, so say for example, you're 160 pounds and you want to get to 180 / 190, something like that. Once you to get in shape, you're obviously going to have to put your calorie target in. So if your calorie target is say 3,500 calories for this bulk, once you get to where you want to be, so once you get to your desired weight or your desired appearance, then you just need to recalculate your calories at this new weight so that you can then work out what your maintenance is. So a lot of these websites do it for you. If you go to ifitfitsyourmacros.com or macrocalculator.net, they'll calculate everything. So what I'd do is I would get in shape first, focus on that. You don't really need to be focusing on maintaining or keeping it if you're not there yet. So get there first, and then once you're there, you just need to recalculate your new calories and put your new information in. and then once you've done that, figure out your maintenance basically. So yeah. And then keep training as well, obviously. Train minimum 3 times a week to maintain your physique. 4 to 5 to 6 to improve, 3 to just maintain and keep. Unless you're a complete beginner, then you'll obviously see gains from even 3 sessions a week. Make sure your sessions are hard as well, and to maintain it as well, make sure you're still hitting lifts like consistently. So if you bench 100 kilograms for 8 reps, you want to kind of set that as a baseline, something that you can't fall below, otherwise you will start losing muscle. But main thing is just to make sure your calories are all on point and you're training frequently still, and you'll maintain a physique as long as you keep your strength. Question 3, what are the best ways to recover after sessions if your gym doesn't have spa or extras? So best thing is make sure that you're eating, your nutrition's on point basically. So make sure that you're eating your protein intake correctly, make sure that your calories are all on point, make sure that you're hitting that frequently, and also take creatine helps so much with recovery. I've noticed creatine makes so much of a difference to your DOMs and stuff. So make sure your diet's on point, you're having enough protein, get enough sleep, get enough rest, and also make sure that you take creatine. If you definitely take creatine if you're natural as well. It's all we have really, isn't it? And I take it you mean because you've put spa extras. If you wanted to go into that kind of stuff, you could do salt baths at home, magnesium flakes, all that kind of stuff. You could even get yourself an ice bath off Lumipod or something like that. There's this Instagram store called Lumipod that I've seen, and you can basically get yourself a little inflatable pod that you just fill with ice water, and then you could get in that every morning if you really wanted to. But yeah, it's just hot baths and enough rest, diet basically. Can I have a cheat meal once a week? It depends. It depends on how well you're doing with what you're currently doing, so how well you're sticking to it. So if you're on a cut and you're not really losing any weight, then no, I'd definitely not recommend a cheat meal because you're not on target or on plan with anything. You'll tend to see that coaches introduce cheat meals and refeed days into your diet when things are going well. So what I'd do is if you haven't got a coach, if you want one, go onto the description and apply. And I've got online coaching available at the moment. If you're not making it, if you're on track with everything, and say for example you've been following your plan for 6 weeks and you're losing weight every week, you're dropping as you're meant to be, then yeah, incorporate a cheat meal here and there by all means. But if you're not, then no. If you're on a bulk, it's a little bit easier to get away with because obviously you need the extra calories. But obviously if you're on a cut and your objective is to get as lean as possible, then make sure that you're on plan. And make sure that you're hitting targets you're meant to be before you start incorporating cheat meals and stuff and refeed days. Because all a cheat meal is and a refeed day is eating back up from maintenance from your deficit. So you can do that without it being a bad meal as well. But if you're not sure about these kind of things, I'd definitely look to get a coach. Like I say, I've got online coaching available. If you wanted to go to the link in my description, you can hit apply on there and I'll give you a call and then we can have a chat about it. Sorry, I keep clearing my throat. I've had this, as you heard in my last video, I had this horrible thing, chest infection. It still hasn't quite gone. Crying out loud. How many days a week should I go for? How many days a week should I go and for how long and when should these increase? So I take it you mean the gym. So if you're a complete beginner, you could probably get away with going 3 times a week, if I'm honest. And you'll see, even if you're a beginner you've never been before and you go twice a week, you'll probably see progress. It's just because you're doing nothing, it's called newbie gains. If you go 2 or 3 times a week, then you'll definitely see some kind of progress. But eventually you will hit a wall, especially if you're natural. You'll hit a wall where you're just like, I'm not seeing any more progress. It says as well, when should these increase? So when you hit that wall, so if you're going, I'd say start on 3 days a week, do a push-pull leg split. I've got one on my website. It's 20 quid to round of drinks, right? So when you hit this wall, definitely look to increase your sessions. So if you're training 3 times a week and then you notice that you're kind of hitting loads of sticking points, your physique isn't changing anymore, you're not hitting what you want to, then definitely look to increase them to 4, 5, maybe 6 times a week, whatever you're comfortable with. But start with 3, see how you go. Start with 3, do that for 12 weeks, see how you go. And like I say, download my push-pull legs program. It sounds like it'd be perfect for you if you're trying to figure that stuff out. Next question. Oh, sorry, it says how long for. Anywhere from 40 minutes to an hour, I'd say is good. Anything less than 40 minutes, you're probably not giving it as much as you could. Anything over an hour, you're probably just dawdling around the gym a bit. 40 minutes to an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, that's a sweet spot. Doesn't need to be longer or less. My phone's going to die as well, fuck me. Someone doesn't want me to make this video. I know who you are. Right, okay. What's a good beginner rep amount? So there isn't really a beginner rep amount. It depends on what your goals are. So if your goals are to build muscle, you want to be lifting in the hypertrophy rep ranges. So this is anywhere between 8 to 12. Some people say 6 to 12, but it's around that range basically. And then if you're wanting to lift for strength, lift between 1 to 5. If you're wanting to lift for muscular endurance to, make your muscles be able to endure more, then over 12, like 12, 15 plus kind of range. But most people that go to the gym do it for aesthetic reasons these days. So if you're wanting to build muscle, between 8 and 12 I'd say is your sweet spot. It doesn't change no matter how advanced that you get. You'll just have periods of your program where it's periodized. So you'll have some weeks where you might look more for strength and some weeks you'll look for hypertrophy and some endurance. It just depends on what your goal is, if I'm honest. But there's no beginner rep amount. It just depends on your goal. It's the same for everyone. It's the same for everybody. If you want to build muscle, you aim for 8 to 12, right? If you want to build strength, 1 to 5. Next question. How do I keep weight on whilst having an active job? Well, you just eat more. So if you've got an active job, when you're trying to figure out your calories, just put down that you're really active, and it'll tell you how much you need to eat. You just need to eat more and keep cardio to a minimum. So if you already do over 10, 15,000 steps a day at this active job, that's your cardio. You don't need to go into the gym and then go on the Stairmaster or the treadmill any further than that. You just need to focus on your resistance training and your diet and eat more, eat as much as you possibly can, because I'd imagine that if you're a guy in your 20s and you've got an active job, you're going to probably have quite a high calorie demand if you're training as well and wanting to bulk. So just get them calories in. Easiest way to do that as well is look to incorporate more high calorie foods. So you don't have to eat chicken and broccoli. That's going to be really hard. If somebody that's going to need 4,000, 5,000 calories a day, for example, eating chicken and broccoli is going to be really difficult. So definitely look to change some of your carbs for higher carbs, such as pasta, things like that. And then your meats, you don't have to eat chicken, eat steak. It's higher calorie, more fat. It's going to be easy for you to get that kind of stuff in than just chicken and rice and broccoli and stuff. So seek higher calorie foods and keep cardio to an absolute minimum. I'm going to have to rush through these now because my phone's going to die. First video was muted. Second video, my phone's going to die halfway through the questions. Fabulous. How long does a man have to get into shape naturally before his testosterone drops? Age range. Your testosterone will be fine until you're 35. All through your 20s, your testosterone will be absolutely firing. Obviously, in your early 20s, it's through the roof usually. But then when you get into your early 30s, mid 30s, you might notice a bit of a difference, but you're not going to notice a significant difference until your mid to late 30s, I'd say. It's obviously different for everybody. It depends on your lifestyle as well. If you're not working out and if you just kind of lay about and you're not doing much and you're just, not eating right, not training, then your testosterone is probably going to be lower. If you're not getting any sunlight and your sleep's terrible, then you probably got low testosterone now. But if you're doing everything that you can to make sure it's high, and you should be absolutely fine until your mid to late 30s, if I'm honest with you. I made a video about this as well, so if you wanted to go and check that video out, it's called Do You Have Low Testosterone? It's on my channel, and I go through all of the signs and symptoms of somebody with low testosterone, and then I've also made a free diary on how you can fix that. So if you watch the video and then you think that you have got some symptoms, download the food diary, and it basically tells you how to get your test levels back to a normal range so you can continue lifting naturally until you're 35, 40, and then perhaps you'll get on some kind of TRT when they do start to go down, but that's becoming the norm now for most men over 35, 40 to get on, because it gives you a better quality of life. So yeah, I'd say you've got until you're 35, 40 before you need to worry about testosterone if you're doing everything you should be. Worry about testosterone if your diet's shit and if your training's not on point, and if you're just look for signs that you've got low testosterone. Like I say, go and watch my other video on low testosterone, download the diary, implement all of them things. If your testosterone's still low, you might need TRT or something, but until you're 35, 40, I wouldn't even consider it. I'd use your natural testosterone. Next question. What's the best way to learn a machine you've never used before? YouTube, watch others, go with a friend maybe. You could watch others, if you're not sure about a machine, you could watch somebody else do it and see how they do it. You could also ask the gym people. I'm pretty sure when you join a gym, you have to get shown an induction if you're not sure how to use some of the equipment. So if you go and just say, I would like an induction, please, so I can learn how to use the machines, I'm sure they'd be happy to help. Or, you could apply for my online coaching, and then you can send me videos of your form, and then I can do form reviews for you and make sure you're using the things correctly. It's up to you. Oh yeah, like you say, you can watch YouTube if you want as well. Next question. How do I maintain good form when I'm not near a mirror? You apply for my online coaching, and then you record yourself and send me the videos so I can monitor your form. No, all jokes aside, maintain good form. You'll know if you're hitting good form because you'll feel it in the areas that you're meant to. That's the last question, so I'm putting my phone down now. So you'll know that you're hitting good form if you can feel it in the areas you're meant to. So say, for example, you want to do a bicep curl and you're doing it but you just don't feel it in your bicep, your form's probably off. If you're feeling it more in your shoulder, you're probably doing this a bit. If you're feeling it in your forearm, you're probably tensing too hard and curling it around a bit too much, or whatever. If you're doing the form correctly and you're performing the exercise correctly, you'll feel it where you're meant to. So if you wanted to do a lat pull down and you're not feeling it in your lat, you're feeling it in your rear delts, you're probably coming too wide with it, right? And then you just need to come in a bit. You'll know that your form's on point when you feel it in the muscle that you actually are trying to work. So if you're trying to work your chest and you feel it in your chest, form's probably fine. If you want to feel it in your bicep, you feel it in your bicep, your form's probably fine. No one's form's perfect. Everybody can make small tweaks here and there, but rule of thumb is if you feel it where you're meant to, then you're probably doing it right. But yeah, that's the Q&A done, guys. 15 minutes. Like I say, I've done this video once before. The other one was probably better as well, but there's no sound on it, so yeah. But yeah, so like I said earlier, I've got a free testosterone diary for anybody that feels like they might have low testosterone, they want to look to boost it naturally. Got that, I'll include that in the link. I've also got a push-pull legs program that's 20 quid, so it's literally the price of a round of drinks, and you can use this forever. It's basically a lifelong thing, plan that you can repeat. And then I also offer online coaching as well, which is one-to-one. And in the online coaching, it's very close, very personal. It's very, very one-to-one, and I'll help you as best as I humanly can to get to where you want to be. But yeah, that's all for today, guys. So have a look in the description if any of what I've just said interests you, then definitely do check that out. But like I say, I'm going to keep these videos consistent, and also in the comments, please comment any questions, any videos that you want to see me do, any questions and answers, Q&As, anything like that you want to see, then definitely ask away. I'm going to be doing, if I get more questions and things, I can do more of these, so I like doing these as well. So definitely do comment, and make sure you like the video as well, and subscribe if you want to see more, and share this with a friend if you feel like something on this video will help them out or answer a question that they've had for a long time, and I hope I've answered one of yours. So cheers for that, guys. See you in a bit.